Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I hope you all are well and enjoying your holidays. Let's talk about studies as well. Yesterday I recorded a video and I have uploaded that as well, but it didn't work well for me as there was a kind of distortion and the sound was not very clear. Though the video was on the same topic, I've started a new series for you all, and that is Learn at Your Own Pace. The name of the series is Learn at Your Own Pace. Learn at your own pace. So basically the purpose of this series is that you can learn different topics, different concepts at your own comfort, at your own ease, while sitting at your home, enjoying, relaxing, while having fun. You can learn while you are in your classroom. You are learning something there. You are definitely under the pressure of your teacher. She is telling you that we just have these 40 minutes, you have to complete your work, hurry up, do it, complete your work. These kind of sentences you definitely you hear all the time in a classroom environment. But now you are at your home. There is no such thing, there is no such hurry. You can learn at your own convenience, and you can learn at your own pace. And this is a summer series. Previously we were working on accuracy of writing, and till now we have done punctuation, and with punctuation we have spellings and grammar also. I'll be working on that also, and I'll be uploading the videos about grammar and spellings as well. But right now I'm going to start a new series, that is, and we will try to complete our complete syllabus during this summer break. So I'm going to start with the comprehension task. Let's first of all let's revise our assessment topics, assessment details basically, because there are some PC students as well who have joined me. So I just want you all, not just PC students, all the students who are here, I just want all the learners to have their questions on their fingertips. Like in your paper 1 you have two questions. Paper 1 has 2 marks and paper 1 has 50 marks, right? And in which we have two questions. We have two questions in paper 1. Question number, basically we have three questions, but the topics that we have, they are two. First is comprehension and use of language, and second is summary writing and short response. 25 marks for comprehension and use of language, and 25 marks for summary writing and short response. But in paper 1 we have three questions in all. Question number 1 is your comprehension task. Comprehension task, and this task has 16 marks. Question number 2 is use of language task. Use of language task, this task has 9 marks. Question number 3A is your summary writing task, and in summary writing task you have 20 marks. And last but not the least, that is question number 3B, and this is short response. This short response has 5 marks. So we have total 3 questions in paper 1. Question number 1 comprehension task, question number 2 use of language task, question number 3A summary writing task, and question number 3B short response. These are the questions that we have in our paper 1, and while we are going to complete our syllabus, definitely we'll be working on all these questions. First of all, today's video basically is about the comprehension task. This is our first task and it covers our 16 marks. And we are going to talk about these 16 marks. Tomorrow, inshallah, I'm going to upload another video that will be about use of language task. But today we are just going to talk about these 16 marks. And the purpose of this comprehension task is that the students, the learners, they have to show their understanding of explicit and implicit meanings. Now, what is explicit? When you need to show explicit understanding of something, that means that something that is clearly written somewhere and you just have to take that out and write it somewhere. Like if I ask you what is the name written in first line of the sentence, you will tell me that the name of the girl that is mentioned in first line, it's Emma. That is explicit understanding. If I ask you why Emma is staggering, so you'll have to read the text, you'll have to understand, and then after that you will come up with your answer. That is called implicit understanding. Implicit understanding or implicit meanings of something. Explicit, something that is clearly mentioned. Implicit, something that is hidden, something that is not mentioned clearly. So you need to, before doing your comprehension task, you need to keep this in your mind, that you have to show understanding of explicit and implicit meanings. Explicit, clearly mentioned. Implicit, hidden somewhere, hidden between the lines. You need to understand it and then you have to write your answer. There's one more thing before starting I must make clear, that if your question starts with the word that is what, if it starts with define, if it starts with identify, or that means all these words, and then usually give details, give features, something like that. If your question starts with these words, that means you require explicit understanding. Explicit means if your questions are starting with these words, you will go to the text, you will just find the related information, it is written there, and while writing the answer you can copy it there also. The requirement is that you need to write the information, you need to come up with the correct information. There's no need to write that in your own words, but you must be able to or capable of understanding the text and then taking out, extracting the information and writing it down. And if next thing is, if your question starts with word explain, if your question starts with word explain, why, usually if it asks for reasons, if it is how, if it is about feelings, that means all these questions, they are asking for implicit understanding. That means, and while writing the answers of all these questions, you need to write them in your own words. Copying of the text is not acceptable here. So you need to understand these words, these starting question, these starters also, and then you need to be very clear about explicit and implicit understanding. Let's start now. Now this is a text about Emma and James. These are the two siblings and they were left at home by their, like kind of home alone by their parents who were on holiday. So that is a text about them. What you have to do, if you check my channel, you will see that I have made videos about all different questions. So if you are not clear about any question, you can go there, find the question and watch the video, and then you can do it, you can write the answer. But here we are discussing the text, we are discussing the questions again. I think this might be enough, or must be enough for you, that you read, you watch this video and take the printout and do your task. Now the first thing that you are going to do, first task for you is that you will take a printout, right? I will share this text in your groups also, and with that I'm going to share the PDF in the description box as well. You will have to take it from there, take the print and start doing. Once you have the printout in your hands, what are you going to do after that? And I must make one thing clear, that you do not just have 1 or 2 days for this. For comprehension task, that is comprehension and use of language, this complete task 25 marks, you have 10 days, and you need to complete it in these 10 days. And you can do it at your own convenience, when you feel like working, when you are happy about it, and do it then, so that this will enhance your performance as well. So let's read it. First of all, the first task, while after having a printout in your hands, or if you want to note it in your, if you want to do it in your notebook, you can do it like that. But you have to find out the meanings of all the words written here, all the highlighted words. I'm going to read them. You, first thing is, you will write the way we write in our notebook in our classes. You will write the vocabulary, and then after that you will write the meanings of all these words in your note. And the words are staggering. First word is staggering. Next is instinctively. Then groping, aggrieved, intruder, suspicion, dispel, pounding, ventured, peak, ominously, revealed, bulging, dismally. This word is dismal, and this is an adverb, dismally. Put away, scowl, glanced, ammunition, impending, jangled, oblivious, coping, undisguised, sarcastically. These are the words, and the first thing that you have to do is that you are going to write the meanings of all these words. Now, once you are done with that, and how you will write the word and you will find out the meaning. You can use a dictionary for that. You can use a talking dictionary. You can use your phone. You can Google the word. If you have downloaded a dictionary in your phone, you can consult that and write the meaning. Once you have written all the meanings, after that you will read the text. Emma unlocked and pushed open the back door, staggering under the heavy bags of groceries. Now I will insist that you must read the text once. While doing this in your classroom or while doing it in your examination hall, this is not necessary that you read the whole text once, because if you don't have time, you can simply go to the questions, read the question, get back to that line and find out the answer. But right now you are sitting at home, you are working, so this is a kind of a demand from me. I insist that you all read the text first, understand it well, get the main idea, and then after that go to the questions. Now question number 1 is text A. Read text A, Emma, in the insert and answer question number 1 and question 2. Question number 1. In paragraph 1, why was Emma staggering? So the question is why. That means this demands implicit understanding. What you are going to do, you will tell yourself that because my question is starting with word why, that's why one thing is for sure, that I have to write this answer in my own words. First thing. Secondly, I don't have to copy something from the text there. I don't have to copy the sentence and write it there. Like, look at this. As Emma unlocked and pushed open the back door, staggering under the heavy bags of groceries. Now, staggering, and you have to read between lines and you have to tell yourself that why is she staggering, and what is this heavy bags and groceries and all that. So you will ask yourself why, what is the meaning of word staggering, and why is she staggering. You will ask yourself, and then you will write the answer there. Question number 2 is using your own words, explain what the text means by Emma's huge responsibility and why parents placed it on Emma. This question has 2 marks. Using your own words is making it very clear that you cannot copy the answer from the text. You have to read it and you have to write that in your own answers. You'll go back to these lines. Lines may differ, okay? Maybe if line number 3 or 4 is written there, you might find it in line number 7 or 8. So you check it twice before writing the answer. So yeah, it is line number 3 and 4. Her parents had gone on holiday, leaving her as the elder in charge of her brother. Their trust placed a huge responsibility on Emma, felt particularly because it was the first time they had left their children alone. So what question is, you are going to write this in your own words. That is clearly written there. You can find it and write it here. Explain what this also requires implicit understanding, right? And you will answer both the parts first. What is meant by huge responsibility? Describe huge and responsibility as well, and avoid using this huge responsibility in your answer. Instead of that, come up with their synonyms or come up with words or come up with their meanings. C is, what were two unpleasant changes Emma found when she was in the kitchen? This, it starts with the word what, and this is about two things that were there. Now let's go to line number 6, 5 and 6. See, groping in a kitchen cupboard, she was irritated to find that the tea bags had been shifted. It is clearly written there, and no doubt that, okay, then he had left muddy footprints all over the floor. Cutlery drawer were also slightly open. These are three things that we can find here. You just need to come up with two, and because this question demands explicit understanding, so you can just take out two things and copy them here. There's no need to write them in your own words. If you want to write them in your own words, this is your own choice, but there's no such requirement. If you just copy it, you'll get your marks. What decision did Emma make when the full force of her decision, her suspicion, hit her? That is also clearly written there. So that is explicit, clearly written there. You can just take it out and you can write that in your own words, or you can copy it from there. If the sentence is, if it's not clearly written there, then if get a clear understanding and then write it here. So then E, in paragraph 3, what were two familiar features of James's room? That is also in paragraph 3. Let's have a look. Yes, there was nothing odd there, and James's room was presumably as he had left it. Emma looked at it, dismally familiar features, books strewn across the desk, the occasional sock lying on the floor. These are features of his room. That means his room was always like that. So you are going to, if this is also what were, so you can just take out the details and write them here. There's no need to come up with your own words or write something from your own. So you can just copy and paste it here. F. In paragraph 4, how does James behave after returning home from school? Give two details from the text to support your answer. James's feelings and two details. This, I have a video on this question before. If you're not clear about it, go watch that video and then write the answer. And this is here. Yes. Emma opened the door to her brother. He slung, now this shows his attitude, okay? He slung his school blazer on the hall dresser, caught the significance of his sister's scowl, and went upstairs with it. That means he had no idea what his sister is thinking, or what is she going through, or what is she doing, or what is she thinking. Then again, we have something else here. Obviously, oblivious to his sister's mood. Oblivious, first you will find out the meaning of oblivious. This will tell you how he is feeling. Oblivious means when you have no idea what other person is doing or thinking. So oblivious to his sister's mood, James talked to her about run. So you will get the feeling in this word, that is oblivious. Find out the meaning, synonym, and then write the feeling or how he was feeling there in this answer. Now give two details in paragraph 4. So how you are going to answer? You will write James's feelings. He had no idea what his sister was thinking, or what she had been doing all day, or what kind of mood she was in. So you will read that, you will understand that, and then you will write. And feeling question is always written in your own words. Never copy it. Do not use word oblivious here. Then details. Now when your question, see here is give two details. Whenever your question starts with the word give, you can copy the answer here. You'll go back there, you'll find out two details that shows the details that show how he was feeling. This is a kind of detail, is a kind of a justification or evidence of the feeling that you have already written, right? So two feelings you are going to write here. Then G. Why do you think Emma's mother had left? Again, question starts with word why. You will go there, read it, understand the answer, and then in this question, let me tell you one thing. This question, the answer of this question is hidden here in this word already, bulging suitcase. Bulging. So you will find out the meaning of bulging. That will tell you, that will give you the meaning of the answer of this question. Okay. So three pairs. So there, implicit understanding. Find it out and write. What did she conclude after checking all the rooms? Again, this is something about what that is clearly written there. If you think that that is not that clear for you, understand it and then write it here. You can write it in your own words, that's your choice, or you can copy it from there. That it's like let's get back to line number 28. Line number 28, yes. Relief flooded over her as she was now convinced that apart from herself the house was empty. So you can write it from there or you can write it in your own words. This is your own choice. Next one is last question. I have a complete video on this. You can read that and then after that you can write this answer. Explain using your explain. Now this starts with word explain. That means it requires implicit understanding, right? And the next part, give three details. That means it is about explicit. So this question has two parts. One part is feeling part, that requires implicit understanding. Next part is give three details, that requires explicit understanding. So this question, it has 3 marks and it requires two kind of understanding. Then explain using your own words, Emma. And one another important thing, that different feelings. Okay. Now if you think that Emma was happy, and first you are writing happy and in the second feeling you are writing she was delighted, you won't get marks for this. You will just get 1 mark for one feeling. If you are somewhere, if you are writing that she was suspecting something, or she was suspicious, and then secondly you are writing that she was skeptic, because these are the same feelings, you will get just 1 mark for these feelings. So what you have to do, you have to write 3 different feelings. Like first of all, if you writing there in the beginning, in the beginning of the lesson, she was suspicious that someone was in the house, suspicious. Then you can write after that she got worried, and third, she was relaxed or she was relieved that there was no one in the house. The 3 different feelings. And how you are going to write, you will write the feeling first and after that you will give the evidence of that feeling. And the evidence you are going to, I must say that you have to copy the evidence from the text. Like if you are writing, sorry, if you are writing that she was, look at this, if you are writing that she was relieved, now how you know that she was relieved, you have to justify this, you have to give the evidence. So if you are telling that she was relieved that there was no one in the house, so you will tell yourself that she was relieved as relief flooded over her as she was now convinced that apart from herself the house was empty. You are going to copy the whole sentence. This is the evidence of that. If you are writing here as the full force of suspicion hit her, that means that show that she was suspicious. So you can just write that she was suspicious, or she was doubtful, or she was skeptic that there was someone in the house. So how you are going to justify that? You can write she was suspicious that there might be someone in the house as she would have to as she realized that she would have to look in all the other rooms to dispel it, right? So anything that you are writing, you need to give the evidence of that. This is not just simply you say she was happy, she was kind, she was that. You have to prove that, you have to give the evidence of that. So now we have done all the questions. I'm going to share this with you, and tomorrow I'll be sharing the video about use of language task. Here it is, we are going to do it tomorrow, and you take your time, do it, read the text well, write all the meanings. And I would say that if you can take out some time, you should write, you should make the meanings, the sentences of those words, so that you can make them your active vocabulary. Active vocabulary is something that becomes a part of your daily conversation, that you can use the word. This is not just somewhere lying in your mind, in your brain, somewhere far away, but this is something that is at the tip of your tongue. You can use it. So if you want to use words like staggering, like ominously, like relieved, like bulging, you'll have to make their sentences and make them, or you kind of make them part of your daily conversation, daily speaking. So we are done for now. I'm going to share, it in your groups. With that, I'm going to give the PDF in the description box. Read that, do your exercise. See you tomorrow. Allah Hafiz.